Hello and salut everybody. Welcome back to the channel Chatting with Nicole. If you have not subscribed, do me a favor, do just that. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the family, and also check out the rest of the videos. Thank you very much for being here. I'm so grateful that you are here with me right now. So what are we chatting about today? I want us to chat about processed food linking to dementia. You know what I'm talking about? Memory loss, the terrible disease that no one should have to suffer from. A disease that would make you forget your own children, forget your own spouse, forget who you are. It's a terrible disease. It's a terrible disease that nobody should ever have to suffer from. And I was watching this report, and when I saw this, I was like, I have to share this with you, because not knowing is the worst thing. We know how processed food is bad for us. Cholesterol, we have, weight gain, high blood pressure. We have a lot of issues with eating when we eat processed food. But to add to it that it actually, it can cause you to have dementia. That part really got me. I'm like, I have to share this with you. So everything is said in this report, steps that you can take, everything is in this report. So what I want you to do, especially some of you who may have, family history of dementia or other diseases in your family, or if you don't even know you have the history in your family and you've been feeling like you're forgetful, or you thinking, or you have a parent and you have or family members you feel going through something like this, please review the report. Share it with everyone that you know. Even if you don't think they have a problem, even if you don't think that they are sick, even if you don't think that they have any of this history in their family, share it with them anyway. Let us do this to help each other so that none of us will have to suffer from this terrible disease, where we can't even remember who we are. We can remember our children. We can remember our spouses. We can remember our siblings. We can remember who we are. This terrible disease. If there's something we can do, let us do the best that we can. So share with everybody you know. Let them take the necessary steps. Change their eating habits. You do the same for yourself, for your family, for your children, for a healthier life. So stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you next time you see me.
Yeah, a new study points to an increased risk of dementia in people that eat ultra-processed foods, which includes burgers, French fries, and, yes, ice cream. So here to discuss this is NBC News medical contributor Dr. Kavita Patel. Dr. Patel, good morning. So how concerned should we be? How high of a correlation did researchers find between people who ate processed foods and then went on to show signs of cognitive decline? And over how long of a period were they observed exactly?
Yeah, Zinkley, Stephen, this study had me even opening my fridge last night and reevaluating what we put in it, because let me tell you, so this was a study done in Brazil. It's one of the largest of its kind, which is why it's interesting. And as you point out, Zinkley, it's correlation, meaning we don't know that eating ultra-processed foods, things like hamburgers, donuts, processed pasta, causes dementia. But in a study of over 10,000 Brazilians, studied up to 10 years, with a pretty even divide between men and women of different ages, they found that people who had 20% or more of their calories from these ultra-processed foods actually had a significant rate of decline of executive function. What does that mean? That's our higher level of being able to process things, recall information, and make decisions. This was significant enough that this study in the Journal of the American Medical Association Neurology actually pointed out that Americans, and here's the kicker, Americans estimate that 48% of our diet are ultra-processed. So think about it. That adds up to just years of a decrease in cognitive function that should give all of us some pause.
Some big numbers there, a little scary.
Yeah, and we're showing the video of pizza and cookies, and I am starving. This is a bad combination right here, Dr. Patel.
It is.
I wanted to ask you, though, we mentioned a few types of processed foods. So are there any other foods people want to avoid that could be linked to an increased risk of cognitive decline?
Yeah, Stephen, this is the hardest thing, especially when you're busy and you're shopping and you're trying to think about it. When you're in the grocery store, if you look at the ingredients and they are not ingredients you recognize, these are chemicals, things that are, words that do not relate back to whole foods that you can recognize, that should be an alarm signal. That means that it's processed. And then a lot of our common snacks, anything that's been manufactured that has to sit on a shelf and stay shelf stable for a long time, Stephen, that is another alarm bell. And so as you point out, it's all the things that we love around the holidays and that I love to even send in my kids' lunches because it's convenient. But really, the best thing to do is to go natural. Think whole grains. Think things that you make at home. That is not easy for the average American to do. When you think about it, on average, an American will consume at least one meal a day that is processed. So this is a reminder for all of us not to overthink it. Go back to the basic things you have to make in the home or that you know that somebody has made and that you can identify the ingredients.
Yeah, I mean, that's even diets. I don't eat meat, but I know a lot of meat alternatives can also be ultra processed. So that's something
right
to look out for. So,
that's right.
Doctor, I know that this study also found people who had high quality diets reduce the effects of processed foods.
Yes.
So what are some high quality foods you recommend we eat to stay healthy or to maybe offset some of those former habits?
Yeah, look, again, I'm going to go out. I've got a shopping list for myself. So, okay, fruits and vegetables. Again, any fruits and vegetables that you can get from a local grocer, farmer's market. There are even some boxes that you can get that are cheaper that can be delivered to your house that use some of those leftover fruits that people don't like because it's got a little mark in it, but they're perfectly fine. Fruits, vegetables, grains. When we're thinking about whole grains, it's an intact whole grain. It usually means like whole wheat, quinoa, oats. All of those things can be incredibly healthy. And as you point out, things like can actually reverse not just cognitive decline, but improve our memory and higher function. That's what we all want as we age. And remember, it starts early. This is even demonstrated. Diet in children can have a long-lasting effect. So just try to do a substitute and a healthy swap. Don't overthink it. If you like macaroni, there are recipes out there for whole grain macaroni where you can substitute and add in spaghetti squash that's mashed up and looks orange. So think about healthy swaps, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do it today myself, guys.
I was going to say, it sounds like everyone watching needs to have a very healthy breakfast this morning.
I love that.
Dr. Kavita Patel, thank you so much.